Remember, you're watching PM Express, and today we are talking about divorce and the factors that contribute to this, and how persons who are pursuing divorce should conduct themselves and behave so that the pain can be minimized. Who best to discuss this topic than a man who himself quite recently celebrated 35th anniversary of his wedding, a successful marriage counselor. Reverend Dr. Samuel Kissiedu is my guest. Reverend, welcome to PM Express. Good. Always.
Thank you.
Reverend, we are talking divorce.
Right.
When we say divorce, what do we mean?
Divorce is when a couple decide that they no more can live together and they don't love each other anymore, and the covenant they made to them must be broken. But you can't easily just break a covenant. Seriously speaking, unawares to most of us, you actually don't break any marriage if it is proper marriage. With a marriage is a covenant relationship. Before God is there, and the court can break it, but before Him, there should be genuine reasons why it takes place. Not that God likes it, but there are some instances where human failure, as the Lord said, it is the hardness of the heart of man that causes divorce. So it's when a couple decide we won't marry anymore, we will not live together anymore, we don't have the marital love, romantic love for each other anymore, because we can't form the bond.
And you say when a couple decide, you say it
Yes.
as if they can just make a deliberate decision.
Sometimes it is one side that doesn't want it. Sometimes both sides. Because a number of people, when I talk to them, who divorced who? I said, well, we both agreed. Usually it will start from one side. And when things go on in a certain direction, then the other side agrees. If this is how it is going, then let's call it quits. In some instances, it comes as a matter of course. They keep fighting, beating each other, insulting each other, and abusing each other to the point where they both realize we better all run away from each other, which is unfortunate. So that's what I mean by they decide.
How is it that people who hitherto love themselves, they are excited about living together, they take a decision and sign this bond, and which you call a covenant,
Yes.
and they have covenanted to live together for the rest of their lives?
Yes.
How do they get to a point where their differences are irreconcilable that they opt out?
I like the word you use, irreconcilable. If you can't reconcile with somebody, I won't want to say that it is always not true. If the foundations are destroyed, as we are told, the righteous can do nothing. If the foundation is not good for the building, it will come to a time when you see the building itself collapsing, falling apart. In some instances, it is lack of understanding of what marriage is. I think not even in some, most times these days, people don't understand what marriage is supposed to be.
Don't they?
Most of them don't understand that before you marry, one of the decisions you have to make is to decide not to divorce.
No, before you marry.
Yes.
You must
Take a
first
decision.
decide that.
I am not going to divorce. I am going to.
Is that not circular? I mean, is that not circular? Because you just said that when the marriages breaks down, I mean, the people have decided not to live together.
Yeah.
But before they get married, they must decide not to take this decision.
Do that. They have been married for 35 years. I'm talking from experience and from all the counseling, tons of it over the years. That a primary reason why marriages break down is the foundation, which is not right.
What foundation is
the
not
person
right?
decides to quit. You see, quitters don't win and winners don't quit. If I'm going to Kumasi from Accra, don't I want to arrive? The car breaks down, you fix it. We're going to Cape Coast Minister last weekend. The tide, boom, we fixed it. We did this, we did that. We came here because when we were going, there was a problem where the battery exploded. We had to get a new battery, which cost almost like 5.5. Like 5,500,000 old CD.
Yeah.
But that's 550. Because we wanted the car to run for us to come. You have to, when you go to Legon or get to Cape Coast University, when you travel outside to do your graduate studies, don't you decide that I want to finish. In a few instances, people make the wrong choices of the course. They don't know what is involved. But 9 out of 10, people pursue. You see, if something is important to you, you have time for it, and you pursue and persevere until you get results.
So from day one, the parties must decide
yes,
that they will not at any point in time opt out.
No. Yes, they have to make that decision.
Why is
and
that
most
important?
of them don't.
Why is that important?
It is important because you need for determination to be created and pursued, for perseverance to be in place, for the love to be renewed constantly, for the spark to return, for you to understand that two human beings who are not flawless, they are humans. Humans make mistakes. And therefore, marriage is not just to enjoy. Marriage is to help change, mold character. And character is who you are when no one is watching you.
But is that not the problem? You said to change, mold character.
And people only go to enjoy. So anything that comes, you can use a smooth edge to smoothen a rough edge. It has to be a rough edge. My rough edge will help you, and your rough edge will help me. The smooth ones are there. But it is part of the nature of it. We used to have a problem in tree, school at the Abana. School is sweet, but cane is in it. Who said education is so exciting? Even, I was on top of my class in high school and all that, and about these degrees and everything. But it's tough. But I determined to go through. Even the most talented person has to practice to become perfect, to perform. I have excellence. People don't go into marriage with the aim of allowing the relationship, plus all relationships, to mold character for you to be better. It takes a broken man to break men. And anytime, hey, my leg, hey. So they want to remain as they are. What many people who are even in the marriages did, what they brought into the marriage is the same. Even their cooking styles, their talking. You see, youth problems become adult problems. And the problem we have across the board, not just in Ghana or Africa, around the world, is that people don't finish being single. So if you watch the guy's dressing, the way he corrects people, he can even be a bishop. He can be area head, as we call it. He can be the biggest CEO in town, doing great things. Biggest evangelist, biggest medical officer, biggest this. But if you watch carefully, you knew the guy, like a lady said, my husband is frozen in his student years. The way he was behaving in Commonwealth for 10 years, he didn't change.
He's frozen in his
student years. He never allowed a relationship with the lady to make changes. I mean, a lot of changes have taken place in my life since I'm married. In so many ways. Because as a wife, and she too, things have taken place that are for the good. Because my wife prays more, talks less, and determined to allow God to use the good things he has, whilst he also makes adaptations and adjustments until we work out to the point where we are not perfect. Some of the things that used to bother us, we laugh at them. Because we are human and they'll be there. That is how she is, that is how I am. But those ones that are destructive and will not make the marriage machine run properly, you actually work on them. I didn't want to be coming to be helping in kitchen when I got so much engaged in student work as a professor and doing counseling and doing this and writing books. But I had to adjust. I remember
and go and help in the kitchen.
Adjustment. There are 4 kinds of adjustments. Apart from deciding I'm not going to quit. Number 2, you allow the relationship to break parts of you, modify some parts, bring out what is good things that are hidden and all that. I was writing a book. My wife came and stood there and said, I need you in the kitchen. Create a condition where your wife can come and stand there.
Someone would find that very annoying.
Yes. Not even annoying, but it's demeaning. In Africa, some of these places, how dare you go and tell your husband, Reverend Dr. Kissiedu, I need you in the kitchen.
The man.
And she knows I'll not say no. She said it once and left. Once I'm sitting, I can't focus and concentrate unless I do that, because you love her and to make her happy. And the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Wisdom is knowing what to do. Knowledge is getting the facts. You can get all the facts and preach it and teach it and even write a book on it. But wisdom is application of truth to experience. How to solve problems. Wisdom is how to apply the knowledge in situations. Then understanding is how to interpret results according to knowledge. Knowledge, getting facts. Wisdom, how to use facts. Understanding is interpreting results according to the facts. I got up and left and went to the kitchen. She was doing kinky. And kinky, I like it a lot. Now she has the dough, the mixture there, and she has to take this foil a certain size, and then there's this parafilm, the Reynolds parafilm, which you use to wrap first and put it in. And what she wanted me to do, because she was alone at that time, is to cut to tear the foil into the right sizes. Then she put it in, then I helped to fold. And she was showing me how best to fold.
To fold it.
That is marriage. You know, the first 5 minutes I wasn't talking.
Yeah.
Because I was writing the book in my head. I'm writing a book.
Whilst folding
yes.
Whilst folding the kinky.
Yes. I'll lose my train of thought. So I was not talking. My mind was writing the book and not on her, which is what people do. You can be there, even make love, buy things, and do things. But a person's mind and heart is on something else. Distraction. Without knowing that's what you are doing. A woman or a man is helping you with business, helping you to have babies and things. But where is your focus? That is it. Where the mind goes, the man goes. Where the mind goes, the man goes. Your man is what he is a whole day long in your thinking. So, by God's grace, I started asking myself in my head. I'm sure she saw what was going on and knew that I was trying.
You are not really there.
Yes. So I asked myself, what are you writing the book for? Then I answered a question in my head. You are writing a book to tell the whole world to do what you are not doing. The book is on relationships and marriage. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Then if you fear God and you know God is standing there just watching you, and the fear of God is in your mind, I open my mouth. Because communication is the life, the blood, and currency of relationship. The whole thing was, oh, I'm interested in you. Okay, oh, I love you. Let's live together. Communication begins. Communication must sustain. Communication must end. Communication will take you home. Even the day you are dying lying down, it is what you communicated. But what you said, what you didn't say, what you have done. I started now talking. Don't talk about big things. Don't talk politics if you're a politician. Don't talk medical something if you're a doctor. Don't talk about.
And you are a biology professor. Don't talk your biology.
No. Started talking. Oh, how is it? How is you? Oh, you are sweating. Say common things around the house. You see, I started talking about common things. You see, because women are creatures of the heart, and we are creatures of the mind, they were made very sensitive, and they take care of little things because of the idea of baby. A soul coming to sperm and egg takes place in them. It can't take place anywhere else. Their makeup is so different. So we think they are childish because they care about little things. And we are mind people trying to use mathematics and calculations for this. The man is getting a stroke. Oh, I'm okay. Until the hand doesn't work before he's trying to drive to the hospital. He hits the head against the wall. Blood is coming, he says red ink. But it's blood.
Red ink. But that's the makeup of a man.
Yes. Pride. Inner pride. The leadership, because of our sinful nature, if you don't work on yourself, you can't even believe what you think. And that is why people shock us. That this wonderful man has said this, has done this, he wants this. It must be broken. The religion must break. It takes a broken man to break men. So I started talking. But it's when the self now is broken. Now I'm relating to her by communicating, which is the life, meaning it produces fruit. It is the blood. You see, blood is what is giving the heat. And there's a currency that enriches. And they are creatures of the year. When Adam said, bone of my bone, women became creatures of the year. We are creatures of the eye. And we are conservative. They never forget how you look like. So be very careful how, after they're having their children, the women don't care about their bodies anymore. And be careful when you are giving promises to a woman or insulting her. He says, yeah, I talked, we finished, and then I started smiling, getting happy with the activity. My mind went off the book.
The one which annoyed you.
Yes. It's not a source of joy because now the person is important. It's fulfilling my marriage vows. It's not just standing there and then they say they are preaching, the woman is there and the man. No, not that. These are the areas that tell who you are. That's as a character is who you are when no one is watching you with your wife. When you're standing in church, you're standing there, they will say, hey, they're wonderful. You see. Can you believe I finished doing the kinky with my wife and I sat there for about 15 more minutes? She didn't ask me to stay. I got delighted. And we went into a chat about work, about it. I mean, from spontaneous communication, we call conversation. I left. When I went to the book, I didn't forget anything. We are our own enemies because self is the greatest enemy. I always say you have 4 enemies: sin, self, Satan, and the world. He beat him. Tell him you don't like it. Don't give him. You resign, do this, the world. And then doing wrong. And then the devil. If the devil doesn't get self, what we fear is witches, demons, it becomes tough for them. If you give yourself, you become vulnerable. So you must allow marriage to. Marriage is not prepared food. And people come and they say, what are you expecting? Sometimes they even say man of God. He's a man before the of God. I've married a woman of God. You're a woman before the of God. We are humans. And the relationships are supposed to break us and make us better. If you have married, if you are listening to me, you have married 5, 10, 15, 20, and you are the same, you haven't benefited
at all.
Well, the benefit is that you have grown nice and children, they are this, they are whatever it is. But in terms of character, of getting value when you die before God, if you are still the same, then we are supposed to be upgrading ourselves. We are supposed to be changing and become more godly. You have to grow from strength to strength to appear before God in Zion. And you haven't. You see somebody who is 70, 60, and the way he asks a question, the way he behaves, if you knew him when he was in high school, it's the same. People don't finish being single.
Reverend, we have to take a break at this point. When we come back, Reverend will be talking to us about what is the foundation. How can we say the foundation is right or the foundation is wrong? You're watching PM Express and we are talking divorce. Keep watching. We will be right back. So welcome back. You're watching PM Express and we are talking divorce. My guest is Reverend Dr. Samuel Kissiedu. He just celebrated the 35th anniversary of his marriage. So, Reverend, you said that some people don't finish being single.
And not some people, many of us.
They don't finish being single
yes,
before they get into marriage.
Before and in the marriage.
Okay.
Things you have to, there are 4 kinds of adjustment. The first is to adjust to the strength of the one you married. You even have to adjust to the strength of a company. It's the same thing. People who are elected into office must adjust to the strength of the position. If you think the previous position you're holding, you're bringing the same things to this one, you face challenges. That's why people get challenged. Okay? You may be working at a radio station in the past, but when you come to Joy, you'll be given a position. It looks nice, but then you feel challenged and you start messing up. I just someone who said, my husband was a minister. I didn't know it was like this. They work. And someone said, my husband, he comes home just when we are going to enjoy. They're on call to the hospital. When he comes, he's so tired. And I said, who counseled you? Didn't you know you're going to marry a medical officer? When I married, I was going around Kumasi saying hi to people, thanking people. And I went to the nurse's quarters at Bantama to visit one of my students and to say hi to the mom. She was a nursing sister at Confirmation. And the first thing she said was, brah, you have married a nurse. Oh. And I said, well, this woman, as we say, too known. I said, yeah, I know. And I was wondering, what does it mean? Then the next sentence, she can go to work on Christmas Day. Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Reality setting in.
Several times in the U.S., Thanksgiving Day, which is a Thursday, the last Thursday of November, we are not able to eat our turkey because mommy goes to work. We eat our turkey the next day. That is what the woman told you 35 years ago. You must adjust to that. And they will never give you New Year and Christmas holiday. U.S. they don't do that. You take Christmas or New Year. Maybe this year it was Christmas, next year New Year. So a number of times on New Year I had to go to church alone because he has to be at work. And sometimes Christmas Day, mommy was at work. Adjust to the strength. Because some find it too much. And then in the process of trying to cope, instead of trying to seriously adjust, they get problems. The second type of adjustment, adjust to the weaknesses. If you are crossing the street with a child, a little child, you must know it's a child, and therefore, you must go at the pace of the child. If you are traveling with horses and snails, to create an army, you pull the horses nicely and drag the snails to create an army. You see, a crowd without a leader becomes a mob. Starting from the home. There should be, you can't be love without leadership. You must know what you are loving. Your love must go with knowledge and discernment. Even God tells us. To quote some scripture, Philippians 1:9. Okay. The second type, if you don't do that, you'll be either pushing or delaying or abandoning. Ah, it's too far. I don't understand this. I can't cope. The third adjustment is adjusting to the wrong things of the person. I'm not saying if you smoke too.
So you adjust to the strength, adjust to the weakness, adjust to the strength.
The wrong thing, the sense.
Okay.
Like Christ came down to our level. To help someone out of weaknesses and to help someone out of wrong things the one is doing. A German should speak French to a Frenchman. If you talk German, he doesn't get it. If you use a man's language, hey, I've told you since I'm married to you. I don't like my things like that. That's a man's language. It doesn't help her. And me, I've told you, we are talking only of lateness. Embracing in 1942, that's what you did when we come from the funeral. And when your mother, and the man says, ah. And finally, you adjust to the unfamiliar ones, which was my challenge.
Reverend, would you hold that for me? Let me pick a call. I have to talk to Akuheva. She's a clinical psychologist to help us in this conversation. Madam Hefron, if you can hear me, welcome to PM Express.
Thank you very much, sir. How are you doing?
We are good. Thank you for asking. We are talking divorce, and Reverend is giving us the foundation and the manner that people must act in order that there can be some semblance of peace and they will not get to the point where they have to be divorced. But you are a clinical psychologist. What's the thought process of persons who once were in love and who now become virtual enemies?
Well, hello to Reverend. It's been a long time, and hello to your listeners. It is a challenge, you know, because there are different thought processes for different groups of people. For example, for some people, they get married not because they love one another, but because of maybe the person's fiscal outlook.
Okay.
Therefore, when it gets to a point where he or she realizes that what it is that he or she went in for is no more there, then the person moves back. And then they start blaming each other for unnecessary things. There are times when people just don't understand their love language. And when I talk about love language, I'm talking about things that for us we interpret as love. For example, I think when Doc was talking, he spoke about time with his wife in the kitchen. For her, that is her love language. So if he does that for her, then it means he shows her love. In the same way, for some others, it's just like, I went out, I found this yogurt, and I bought it for her. But it's just for one thing. But the person appreciates it so much and says to him or herself, my spouse loves you know. So there are times when we don't understand such things. I have a friend who, for I don't know how many years they've been fighting. And it was just recently that we got to understand that it was weren't understanding one another's love. So there are so many different reasons why people get.
One of the in the past few days, one issue which has dominated the airwaves and media discussions is a man who allegedly found his wife in bed with another man. He took his reporter to have recorded what transpired and shared it. What makes one take such extreme steps?
I don't think the man loves his wife. Because anyone who loves his wife would never want to expose him to that place. And I think he actually even put it on the internet, which makes it worse. So such a man is not showing his wife love. He's revengeful. There's something going on that we are not aware of. And that is why he's behaving the way he has behaved. It's unfortunate that he should do that because once you have promised to love your wife or your husband, you have to do so through thick. And that is why for the Christians, when they are saying their vows, they talk about the fact that in sickness and in health, and like the positives and the negatives, you still stick by one another. But for somebody to do that, then that is more of revenge, and it is not healthy for the relationship, and that tells everyone that their relationship wasn't healthy.
Given what you know, are statistics that divorce in Ghana is on the increase supported?
Yes, it is. It is. And it is quite unfortunate. The reason being that you wonder why it is currently on the increase. And like I'm saying, people are opting for spouses for the wrong reason. People are opting for spouses for the very wrong reason. And that is why. There are times too when the counseling process is not done very well for them to understand. You see, when people start, they think that they definitely have to get married. But for me, I see counseling as an eye-opening process. Okay? So it gets to a point where you realize that, look, we are maybe not compatible. If we are not, then let's go our separate ways. But people find it so difficult to do, and therefore they realize midway that they are not compatible. But then they go ahead, get married, and then they start facing problems.
Madam Hefron, be kind enough to hold the line for me. Let me talk to Reverend Kissiedu, who is with me in the studio. You just heard Madam Hefron say part of the problem is the counseling process. Either the parties do not take it seriously or the counseling is not properly done. Counselors such as yourselves failing?
Not all counselors are failing. And that is why we are doing this crusade of going to places. I've gone to several towns and places around Ghana.
Yeah, you have been touring parts of Ghana too.
I finished up with Akosombo on Sunday evening. And what we're doing is asking the whole community to come to a spot, as many as can come. We talk and then we answer questions and explain things because people don't understand. If the counseling is not practical, you have to be able to practice. We all know, for example, that, be tolerant, when you're speaking, be careful, see, don't raise your voice, and this end there. But if you give the person, there are 5 things you need to be an effective communicator. Speak at the right time. Number 2, speak at the right place. Number 3, use the right words. Number 4, use the right attitude. Attitude gives color to action. It's the forerunner. When you raise your hand, I don't remember what is said, but by raising your hand or turning your back is what I remember. Then finally, the right tone of voice. Choose the right time. Choose the right place. Choose the right words.
When is the right time? When is the right place?
You see, if you understand the differences between men and women, women are creatures of the heart. So go through a woman's mind, through the heart. If a woman's emotions, the emotions are attached to their body. If she's not happy inside because you didn't say sorry, I want to make love or give a gift, instead of saying sorry, you can't buy her. And a man make a mistake by saying, look at the 10-bedroom house, look at the car she has, look at this and look at that, without relating. They succeed by relationships. Men succeed by achievement. So you have to balance the two. So if the man feels, I don't have any house, I don't have a plot of land, I don't have this, I don't have that, that's when to encourage him. So you go through his heart, through his mind with reasoning. Talk to, even you don't train your boys like your girls. Reason with the man, we are mind people. But how to also allow it, because the heart has a door and the mind is what to use. So unless the man opens the heart, he will not be having love and compassion as he's supposed to.
Let me go to Madame Heffron, who is the clinical psychologist, to help us deal with this. So Madame Heffron, Reverend is talking about the mindset of the parties involved and how that influences the kind of relationship that they build. What kinds of mindset should the parties have so that their relationship can flourish?
First and foremost, they have to resolve to deal with their issues as and when they develop. They have to know that there's no relationship that has no hitch. Every relationship would come with a hitch at a point in time. How are we resolving the problem? Are we going to say that we are not going to talk to each other for 3 days? Are we going to sit down and discuss dispassionately what happened and then see who has to apologize, that's so and moves on? You know, so once you are able to decide as to how it is that you want to resolve your issue, it does help a lot in minimizing the conflict level in the family. Again, there are times when there's certain things that, like Reverend was, we do that, oh, we shouldn't. You are shouting at your partner. Example, you are out there with friends. Your partner makes it. Why can't you whisper to the partner? Oh, why did you do this? But then you just shout. Kwame, why did you do that? You see, once you do that, you embarrass the person, and then it turns out into something else. So we need to resolve in our head from the onset how we intend to resolve our issues, how we intend to move forward. Because once we are able to resolve our conflict, lots of the rest of the things are just a walk over.
Please hold the line for me. Let me come back to Reverend.
Sure.
Sorry, but let me come back to Reverend. Does maturity or lack of it of the parties play a part?
Yes, but if you listen to my broadcast on Joy, which will be tomorrow morning, because of questions I've realized people are asking all over, I'm treating even on Adom FM, the 15 signs that a marriage is failing, and maturity is one of it. In the US, there was a survey some years ago as to the major reasons why marriages fail in the US. Do you know the top two?
Tell us.
Immaturity was one of them.
Immaturity.
Immaturity.
The top two.
Yes, immaturity was one of them. And of course, unfaithfulness and all that. People may be bodily mature, but not mentally. You decide to learn the good things of life. As I said, wisdom of application of truth to experience. How to organize yourself. If you fail to plan, then you should plan to fail. So when you are training a child, that comes in parenting. A lot of parents don't train the child as someone going to live with somebody one day. They don't involve them in discussions. They don't give them details of even their professions and things. Names they give them, they don't even know what the meanings are. It is exhortation, which is advice, encouragement, without explanation produces frustration. Exhortation without explanation produces frustration. So the person grows up and says, hey, 10 o'clock, we close the door. He is 60 years now. But from the time he was trained, he was told, ask him why 10 o'clock. We try to have family meeting once a month. And family meeting is not the devotion and things. It's family meeting. We talk about food, school, cleaning, health, and things like that. Details of things. And then we form a circle, we stand in the middle, we pray for you and things. To keep the family together and explain things. See, parenting is like discipleship. Unless you disciple the person, in other words, parent properly, decide what to do. You must have values and principles. Value means, let's say, clean kitchen. Principles. No plates are left overnight. Every weekend we mop the floor, make sure you use disinfectant. You do this, you do that. When you drink something from a bottle, once you put it in your mouth, don't put it back as if no one has touched it. Things like that. Teach it, gather, and talk about it. But how many fathers do it as leaders? Then you do it for them to see. Put away all your PhD and whatever you think you have and your position and things, even if it's once, and go there and show the child how to do a dish, how to wash a dish, because you broke that precious plate. You foolish boy, this plate has been there from 19 boy, and you broke it. Don't you see eldest child, your friend's child is 5 years old, helping you? So you do it for them to see. It's the same way. Don't just make appointments. Let the person follow you and see what you do. Then thirdly, be by their side to do. When the child was washing the plate, hold it. No. Hold it like this. That's what they did and broke the other one. No, hold it. Good boy. Do the next one. Then you leave them to do. I'll teach for you to see today. Next week, teach, I'll sit down. After I've explained to you what we do here in this institution, then the next time, like someone who takes after you, you should explain what you do in this program. The next time, sit down and see how I do it. The next time, do it and I'll sit down. Then you leave to do it. Then finally, you evaluate and affirm. Good boy. You are doing happy mommy and things. That's not what we do. Take time management. How many people teach time management? Take the 24 hours. Take your sleeping time out. Take this out. Take this out. You're left with 8 hours. How many subjects? 4. Physics, chemistry, English, history. Which is the hardest? Give it 3 hours. How many are left? 5. Give it. Nobody does it. And you don't work by circumstances, you work by values and principles. No, let's go to the post office, you follow your friend. Parents should sit and teach their children and help them with these values. But how many do it? When it was the last time you were doing homework and your daddy came and said, good boy? No. God bless you.
Because we have values that say if you praise a child, you mislead or the child. What are you
talking about? You will never iron my shirt, iron my trousers, wash something for me, wash my car without me saying thank you. It doesn't matter if your house help. Teach the people. You see, show them practical example, which is one of the roles of a father. One role of a mother is to teach the children to respect their father. Someone asked me in one of these places, how do you do it? When daddy says, do this, when he's away, mommy emphasize it. Then they will see you are behind. You are jointly parenting. And one role of a father is to teach the children to love their mother. So show affection. Learn to hug mommy in front of them from time to time. And do other things.
Let me go to
But these things are not there. The practical things are not there. Because the counselors themselves are not doing this. They go by theory. So you can't practice the things. I know I shouldn't get angry. I know I shouldn't strike you. But how to have self-control and things in place that you have to do is not there.
Let me go to the phone and talk to Madame Heffron. Madame, I have just about 60 seconds, if you will indulge me. Reverend is talking about patience. How can one cultivate that in managing one's home and bringing up the children or in relating with one's spouse?
You see, it's about learning. It's about humbling yourself. We need to be humble. Too many of us are proud. We feel that because we are educated or we have certain properties, something, we should feel too good about ourselves. But we need to humble ourselves and to learn from one another. We need to be able to sing like Rev Casino that will understand one another and help us to learn from one another so that we will be able to progress together. You see, but there's too much competition at times, even between spouses, where one spouse feels that I have to prove to the other person that the children love me more than they love me, and then it becomes a problem. So if we are able to stop all these things and do things together as a team, teamwork is very important. Once we do things as a team, we'll realize that there will be more progress, there will be more love, there will be more understanding, and there will be more togetherness and less people.
I think this is an appropriate point to say. Very, 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 thank you very, very much for your contribution to our show. Madam Aku Heffron is a clinical psychologist, and she's been helping us with some ideas as to how to make relationships work. We have to take a short break. When we come back, we will open the phone lines so that you can join us and contribute to the discussion. Keep watching. You're welcome back. You're watching PM Express and we are talking divorce and we are picking calls. Our phone numbers are rolling on your screen. Please give us a call. Share your experience. Tell us what your problems are. Maybe Reverend can help with some ideas. And then we do this in the hope that someone can get some help. My guest is Reverend Kissiedu. So, Reverend, you're talking about maturity and you're saying that it plays a big part.
Yes.
What are the other factors to consider?
The other factor to consider is communication, which is the life, the blood, and the currency. If communication is poor or lacking, then the relationship cannot thrive. Then you should build mutuality. Whatever you do, so for example, when I'm going to travel, you know, I put all my shirts and trousers up there. My wife will say, Friday put on this, Saturday put on this, Sunday put on this. Not because I can't use my sense and everything. A woman does it better. Also to build mutuality. She will smell all my armpits. Women have a strong sense of smell. Simple things you can do to bring yourselves together. You know, then understand love. You see, love, people think is the passionate love we use to marry. No, it's a spark. If you go, the car hasn't moved. There are 5 things you look for when you love someone. My welfare, what will make me go on. My interest, what makes me happy. My needs, my rights, and my opinion, my mind. In most of the relationships, the idea of a man's leadership is misunderstood. The head has brains to think, eyes to see, ears to hear, mouth to talk. And the woman is taking out the rest of the body, holds the head. You can destroy your husband with one sentence for 50 years' work. But if my neck goes behind me, my head will go behind me. The heat I feel, who pumps the blood? The heart. So if the one is cold or you don't feed her with nice words and things, the head gets into trouble. The headship is a privilege and a responsibility. So that is misunderstood because the guy is good and everything, but never saw practical how daddy shows affection to mommy. His love is provision. You see, we know there's provision for every vision. But God supplies, you must learn to apply. And the practical bonding is not there between parents and children. Today I was on a Super Morning show and I said, that's one thing I found. We have to seriously embark on parenting. Even the government must do that. Between the children and their parents. They have run with the technology, the pornography, masturbation. My brother, you have no idea what is going on. There was a camp where there were 15 girls. Between the ages of 13 and 15.
I have to pick a call.
Not one was a virgin.
I have to pick a call. Stephen.
Hello.
Stephen from Brekum, good evening and welcome to PM Express.
Thank you very much. My name is Stephen. I'm calling from Brekum.
Yes, Stephen, welcome.
In fact, I'm just enjoying the program.
Thank you.
And the program is just about my problem. It's like I can't get the best out of my woman. Like there's no that closeness, that affection there. Like she seems to be very far from me. You see, and I don't know how to handle it. It's like when I decide to wait and see when she will respond to things, it takes more than a week and I don't see anything. Unless myself, I come back to renew the relationship. It's like sometimes I decide to wait to see how she will respond to the silence, the break, the maybe everything. And she doesn't respond. There's no way. Everything is just like that.
Has it always been like that, or this is just a recent happening?
In some ways, it's on and off. It's on and off. She's that kind of person who wouldn't come out to you, show up to you, like come close to you, play with you, joke with you. No, that kind of thing is not there. So unless I do that, it doesn't happen.
Stephen, did you observe this before you got married?
Mm-hmm.
Did we?
Did you observe the things that you are talking about? The lady being laid back?
Yeah, it was there. It was there. No, we were in friendship for about 8 years before we got married. And we've been married for about 10 years now. See, so sometimes I wonder why. It makes me think as if she was looking somewhere else.
No.
Wow. Stephen, thank you very much. We don't have too much time left. Let's talk to Reverend. I hope that Reverend can provide some solution. Reverend, you just had Stephen's problem.
There is what we call a root problem to every problem.
Okay.
Unless you find the root, you are dealing with the branches and the fruits, you get nowhere.
What could be the root
there
for
should
such a
be. You see, women are emotional. And when the way he's talking, you can see he's a strong man. I hope he doesn't talk to her the way he's talking now. Get into her mind through her heart of love and gentleness. Take love making. Hey, you are lying down like a piece of wood. Hey, who push a woman back? Who taught us how to make love? And many have done that to the woman. You think she has not been romantic. I know she wasn't. But it's the way you handle. The women who have done that to the men, it's the way they started correcting the men. That's why the men don't want to listen to them anymore. So be nice and gentle and speak her language. Talk to her as a woman with love and care for change. Not because you're just shooting, po, 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 po. Mind, if you don't aim when you shoot, you will not know when you hit. Don't just shoot. Have a purpose. And that purpose, most parents don't train the children to have. They act by feeling. So get into the marriage, look, 8 years is enough time to put in a lot. Were they reading things? Were they going to some of these seminars? Like tomorrow we are going to have this at Kissiedu Baptist Church for the public. Invited 10 to 1. You don't pay anything. I'll give a 13-page material. Kissiedu Baptist Church is on the Swam Road. Almost opposite.
Yes, I know. Just by this public big hotel, Kissiedu, no, not Kissiedu Royal.
When you pass Police Depot, Peace FM, and you're going to Satimota, is on your left. Come there.
Sun Lodge Hotel. It's just by Sun Lodge Hotel.
Yeah.
Yes.
You 10 a.m. to 1. You pay nothing. 13-page free material. The 7 pillars of a good church. If they are not there, the church is not a good one.
And you have a book. This is Restoring
Broken Relationship.
Okay.
It's not just marriage thing. It has a chapter on conflict resolution, the 10 steps, how to deal with offenses step by step. There's a chapter on anger, forgiveness. How do you cope with things when you are divorced?
Reverend, we have just about 15 seconds left. If you can mention your phone number in case somebody wants to call.
0276 322 982. 0276 322 982. If you want the book, go to Challenge Bookstore or Baptist Bookstore at Makomo in Kumasi, or call this number. They can even give a message to me or anything you want.
I doubt we can pick this. We have mentioned the first one. We don't have any time left. Okay. So I'm most grateful. It's been enlightening having this discussion. We have to do this again. I hope that we will get time to do it. My name is Malik Abbas. You have been watching PM Express, God willing. We'll bring you another exciting discussion. Until then, bye-bye.